This is where the DJ talks. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Ayo Zuri's hurting, okay? The Vikings lost the game. It's very sad. Oh, yeah, that'll cheer him up.
Okay.
I don't see you cheered up at all.
No, I am not cheered up. Still bitter. My team had a chance to really punctuate a special regular season, and they crapped the bed in the biggest possible way.
Wow.
The only redeeming part of this is that 90% of the blame is on one guy. So you can't just say like it was a colossal, beginning to end failure. It was that our quarterback sucked ass in the biggest moment. And now the entire fan base is now gotten to a stage where they feel like, Sam, the whole thing was a fraud. Everything that they saw in the previous 16 games was a mirage. That Sam can't be counted on in big moments. We'll find out. They have a chance to reverse itself on the road against the Rams, a team that beat them in Week 8. So now they got to go do that on Monday night, and Sam can rewrite the narrative here. But that was a brutal showing, and it stings.
Maybe I was watching a different game. I thought you guys were in the game all the way until deep into the third, and then it sort of fell apart. Did I watch a different game?
Well, you saw a team that got inside the 5-yard line 11 times and didn't score.
Whoa.
11 plays. They ran 11 plays from inside the 5.
Right.
And did not get one touchdown out of it.
Yeah,
they threw the ball 9 of 11, and Sam completed, I think, one pass out of that.
You would have run the ball.
Yes. Yeah. Aaron Jones was cooking. He was cooking.
He's not good at the goal line, though. You know that.
No, that's not his strength, and neither it's not our offensive line either. We don't have people movers on the Vikings offensive line, so that was a problem too. So, yeah, this one hurt, Zabe. There was all the momentum, all the stakes, everything else.
Look, you catch a Rams team that is beatable, even though they beat you earlier this year. I forgot that game. How did that one go?
Well, here's how it went. It's Week 8. They'd been missing Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua all season until Week 8.
That's
because
right.
That's how things go in Minnesota. Everybody got healthy for the Vikings. We had no tape to go on because they'd missed the whole year. And here comes Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, and they freaking ate us alive. And they beat us.
You are doing a whole woe is me kind of a thing. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. For
Charch,
sure. Your Packers
your
saw
friend.
The Rams when they had nobody.
I know. I'm here to shake you right now. You have been given this incredible bonus season, and you ran into a Lions team that was hell-bent at their home field, loudest venue in the league, if you ask me. It sounded loud as shit in there, okay? And you ran into them, and you couldn't stick it in when it mattered. Common problem among some fellas. Not me, of course, but, some guy couldn't stick it in.
Other people we know.
Other people, of course. So couldn't stick it in when it mattered. You ran into a team that beat you. Hell, even Dan Campbell said to your handsome coach, I'll see you in 2 weeks. That was not encouragement, or was that condescending?
I think it was condescending. I don't think there was any encouragement meant by that. Do you? Did you take it that way? I didn't. It was like, we'll be resting for 2 weeks. We'll be getting our players back. We're going to kick our feet up.
See you in 2 weeks. We should be even meaner to you guys that time.
Yes. Yes. God.
Oh, Charch.
Now, do you believe in the old adage that it's hard
to
beat the same team 3 times in one season?
Yeah, until it happens. I totally believe it until it happens. It's there is no adequate data set to prove anything based on that. It's like saying it's really hard to flip a coin heads 3 times in a row. Oh, yeah? I could do it if you gave me enough flips. How many flips is a representative sample? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many would you need to get Math nerds, help me out here. How
Well,
many what
flips
are the
would it
odds?
take? What are the
how many
odds?
flips do I need to mathematically have a 51% chance of getting 3 in a row?
I don't know, but the answer is always you could do it straight away if you're lucky, because it's a random 50-50 shot. I'm really starting to grow my 50-50 theory and how it should guide coaches in the NFL, but it doesn't guide coaches. You want to hear my 50-50 theory?
Yeah, I don't think I know this theory.
Okay, it's a very simple theory. Any given play at any given time with any given quarterback called by any given coach has an approximate 50-50 shot of working. That's
Apparently,
my theory.
you've never seen Dorian Thompson-Robinson play quarterback.
Or,
That's what I just learned. You've not watched a lot of Browns football.
or the warmed over corpse of who's the Patriot retread that they trotted out last week?
Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi, that's right. The old Zap Man.
They tried to go to the Zap gun. Did not work either.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Other than, say, the Bailey Zappi theory, good teams going against each other, it's a 50-50 thing. It's literally a coin flip. And these coaches and we as fans want to believe that a win indicates a moral superiority and that a loss indicates this kind of failure of courage by the team you root for. It's just a coin flip, Charch. You guys were in it. Chin up. You got a good team. You're going to play a Rams team that is eminently beatable, and you've already got a book on them at full strength. It's okay.
But here's the thing. They know our coach, right? One of our biggest advantages is that we've got a pretty good head coach in Kevin O'Connell. He's going to win Coach of the Year even with that loss, I think.
Right.
Well, maybe not. I mean, Campbell was the number 2 odds guy before the Vikings got their asses handed to them.
Sure.
So there's a chance that he doesn't anymore. But he's one of the many coaches that comes from the Sean McVay tree.
Yeah.
They know this offense, and they know how to beat it. And I'm nervous about this game.
All right, so if they win the Rams game and then they lose a third time to the Lions, what kind of season did you just have?
Well, still way above expectations. Our Vegas line
Put
was
a word on
6.5
it.
wins.
Good, great, awesome. It's not all time because you got to win the Super Bowl.
All right, so you win one playoff game, and that's an accomplishment. We can agree.
This is an important exercise.
I would say
a lot.
Very good.
You had a very good season. Will you take that season and hold it warm to the cockles of your heart for years to come? That year we took Sam Darnold on a flyer after our first-round draft pick went down horribly with a knee injury in the preseason, and we made a hell of a year out of it. We just ran into a Lions team that had our measure.
Yeah.
Okay, well then there you go. See, this is where I come from a Packer fan standpoint. If they lose to the Eagles and if they are not competitive, then the season is a loss. It was a bad season. They barely made it in. They shit the bed in Week 18 to the Bears, and then they were not ready to take on a very good team, that had rested their starters. If it's competitive and they lose, then it's a good season, lowercase g. If they win, it's a very good season, capital VG. And if they win the next week to get to the NFC Championship game, it's a great season. And if they get to the Super Bowl, it's a Super Bowl season. So,
then everything changes. This is your Packers are less likely to win than my Vikings are. You've got a really, really tough road to hoe here. This is, at Philly is hard anytime.
Right.
In the playoffs, it's brutal. You're talking to somebody whose team lost in the NFC Championship game in Philadelphia. That is a tough play to scratch out and win. I don't think that Brazil game in Week 1 means a whole lot. I don't know if that's
seems like another lifetime ago.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean much. But the problem with playing the Eagles are they're a great run defense. They're a great pass defense. They can run the ball with Saquon Barkley, and they can pass the ball with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Yeah. How are you going to beat that team?
Yeah. Now, of course, right now, Jalen Hurts is still in the concussion protocol, but mostly because he has not practiced, and you need to practice twice and not have symptoms to get out of jail. I said this morning to our Packers insider, Matt Schneidman of The Athletic, I said, yeah, the protocol. I'm really worried about him getting out of the protocol by the end of the week. And he kind of was like, well, you never know. I mean, and I go, trust me. I saw Joe Burrow's head get smushed into the ground by 3 Steelers. And he goes into what I call the blue tent of medical miracles, Charch. And he comes out of the blue tent, and they're like, you're fine.
You're fine.
That tent should be staffed by Dr. Nick Riviera of The Simpsons. Your head is fine. You're a quarterback. You can play. The league doesn't give a shit about the quarterbacks and their concussions. If they can stand upright and they've been given a week off, they let Tua come back this year. Remember that?
Well, and when they would tell you is that Tua had tested available. He had met all the criteria after like 2 weeks, but they waited like 5 weeks.
They waited more
because they felt like they had to.
Well, they knew the optics of rushing him back after 2 weeks would have
been real bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, their team was awful without him.
Yeah.
Awful. And they missed the playoffs by 1 win. So that decision to rest Tua just for optics,
right?
It cost the Dolphins a playoff spot. It might cost them Tyreek Hill, who no longer wants to be a part of this team at all, right? Yeah. He might be gone. It feels like the Dolphins are unraveling in part because they didn't bring Tua back sooner.
Yeah. That said, the Packers went into the link 13 years ago. 2011 had lost all their running backs. They were using guys named Brandon Jackson and James Starks, who the fans in Green Bay didn't even know who are these guys.
I bet.
And they were pulled up out of nowhere, and they couldn't run the ball most of the time that year. They ran the shit out of it in the playoffs. They beat a Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson team.
Wow.
In Philly, on their way to the Super Bowl and to a championship. I don't think this year's team has that. Which brings me to the curious case of QBR. Do you know that Jordan Love, who has had a meh season by most statistical categories, the standard ones, apparently finished with the 4th highest QBR in the league, behind Burrow, Allen, and Jackson. Do you believe in QBR? Because when I saw that, I almost spit out my coffee, and I wasn't even drinking coffee.
Now, QBR does not take into account rushing performance, I don't believe,
well,
right?
It does, but it takes in way more. QBR is a proprietary statistic cooked up by ESPN, and they do not reveal exactly how they come up with their final number.
Oh, really? It's not a known calculation?
No, it's like the formula for Coke. You don't get to see it. It's a secret. So they do hand manipulation by their analysts.
That's so lame.
Based on score of the game, situation. They also embed into their QBR EPA, expected points added. Now, EPA is a bit of a murky number. So there's a murky number inside of an even bigger, murkier number.
EPA is a firm number.
It is?
It is. It's a firm number based on how many yards you gained compared to what you needed on a particular down and distance. And it's
based against the entire data set of every 3rd and 7 on this yardage with this much time and this much score and everything else. Okay.
And where you are on the field and all that other stuff. Yeah, it's a firm thing.
All right, but it's a complicated little piece of statistical machinery that's embedded in QBR as well. So Love this year was a 63% passer. Hey, how about that?
Not great.
Meh. He was 24 over 11. Meh. Hey, how about that? Not very good. And then he didn't play a couple games. He had only 3,300 yards passing, so I don't know how you parse that out. Had one 300-yard game. He's apparently good at avoiding sacks. But the QBR thing is fascinating because this has been the talk the last couple of days for Packer fans is how is he – because most Packer fans think he has not had a great year. They don't think he's regressed per se, but he ain't cooking like he was at this time last year.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. He doesn't look like the same player, but – it doesn't look bad, but you're not getting the heroics that we saw last year from Jordan Love. You know, he He was the best quarterback in the second half of last season, the best. He was like what Joe Burrow is doing this year in the second half of the season is what he was doing last year. He looked phenomenal. And you just don't, you see, it feels like he's just a good quarterback and not a special one this season.
Yeah. Speaking of Burrow, I wanted to bring this up. You know that I sent you this link, so you've seen it already. But you have Jamar Chase, who won the Triple Crown this year. Passing, receptions, yards, touchdowns. Pretty impressive, right?
Very.
Only 5 guys have done the Triple Crown, I believe, in the last 30 years or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. And by the way, they're all really good, not surprisingly.
Right. So this was on ESPN, and I've never seen a pick six to the end zone live quite like this.
A verbal pick six.
This was the biggest verbal pick six. This was Shannon Sharp talking smack to Dan Orlovsky saying, when was the last time a Triple Crown winner didn't make the playoffs?
Hey, Dio, since you this historian and analyze the game, can you tell us when the last time a Triple Crown winner since the merger hadn't made the playoffs?
Your brother?
I can't answer. I can't answer. That was 30 plus years ago. And
you asked me the last time it happened, 1992.
You asked me what was the last time it happened. He had Shannon Sharp completely flummoxed and then tried to change the argument, saying, well, that was a long time ago. Bitch, you asked. When was the last time? Orlovsky had the number. That was pretty funny.
But the funny thing is, how did he not know? He seems surprised. How is Shannon Sharp surprised that the answer is Sterling Sharp? I don't understand that, because he seemed to be totally unprepared for the answer to be his own brother.
I don't know. But it was just kind of funny. While we're on the quarterback front, so there's
By the way, Orlovsky, I think we've talked about this. Orlovsky, thumbs up. I think he does a very good job.
I do too. He's one of he is straddling, he's walking the narrow line up there from being exposed every day, because we get a lot of dosage of him, like radiation. All these personalities on ESPN, they need to remind themselves, we watch them every day or see snippets of them every day. And what do they say? Right. That familiarity breeds contempt. So you got to be careful. So he's done a great job, I think, of being very exposed a lot and having good opinions that are insightful. He does the work without being annoying, without taking himself too seriously, and without slinging ridiculous, unsupported, hot takes.
Yeah. Which is, by the way, pretty tempting to do.
Well, of course. Who doesn't love slinging hot takes? So, on the quarterback front, there's something weird going on with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. They restructured his contract before the season was over, just kind of kicking the can a bit further down the road. They got a new credit card to pay off the old credit card for the bill that's due this asshole, guaranteed, that they can't get out of. So that's going to give him some cap relief in the immediate term. But then they announced right as the season was ending, he suffered a, quote, setback in his Achilles injury, even though there was a video of him dancing with his girlfriend on the side of the road in an Instagram post. Now, who knows when that was taken? Who knows if maybe he could still dance lightly with a bad Achilles? But a lot of people are now putting 2 and 2 together thinking, hold on a second. They're just trying to cook something up to either not pay him or get even more cap relief via injury. What do you think is going on?
I think he didn't take care of his injury the way he should have. Which is, I guess, if your contract is guaranteed, you don't have
Why would you?
Zabe.
Right.
Now you can go out and, do whatever you want to do. I'll remind you, Kirk Cousins' injury was October of last year.
Yep.
And he danced in some award show in February. I don't know, like
Kirk
the ESPYs,
did?
or was it the ESPYs that he danced in February? I believe it was well in advance of free agency. And people are like, oh, Kirk can dance on that Achilles. He must be fine. But this is, we're only 2 months removed from Deshaun Watson's injury. And, it's just a hunch. I don't think he's doing everything possible to get back to playing ready for week 1 of next year.
Yeah, no, I agree. If a guy's a bag of shit, which he's proven to be, then why would he be diligent about his rehab of an injury for a team that hates him, a fan base that really hates him, and money that's guaranteed?
Right. That's the we've talked about this contract a million times. Worst contract ever, history of sports.
Right.
Yeah.
Hiring with Indeed, your search is over. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Indeed's matching engine leverages over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, constantly learning from your preferences. The more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Zabe. Just go to Indeed.com/Zabe right now and support our show, saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/Zabe. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Hey, everybody. El Baldo here. Look, I know what you're thinking. Pretty ironic having me talk about hair loss prevention, right? Well, my hairline is long gone. Maybe there's still hope for yours. In fact, I think there is. Let me tell you, if I'd known about Hims back in the day, who knows? I could have been a player, Jerry. Maybe I wouldn't be rocking the Chrome Dome now. But here's the deal. Hair loss isn't fun to talk about, but Hims makes dealing with it incredibly easy. No awkward doctor visits, no uncomfortable conversations. Just answer a few questions and their medical providers will determine if the treatment is right for you. They've got everything from chewable tablets to sprays and serums using clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can help regrow your hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. And get this, they'll ship it right to your door for free if prescribed, all for one low price, no insurance needed. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Zabe. That's HIMS.com/Zabe, Charlie, Zulu, Alpha, Bravo, Echo, for your personalized hair loss treatment options. That's hims.com/Zabe. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. They say to fully enjoy life, you should collect experiences, not things. Physical things you buy become outdated. They lose their appeal. But an experience lasts forever and grows over the years. That's why I want you to know about the Mervis Diamonds South Africa Safari coming this March 2025. Enjoy a 5-star luxury adventure with native South African and longtime fixture on the DC diamond scene, Ronnie Mervis himself, leading the group. I've been on the trip twice, and it is spectacular. You'll fly to Cape Town, see the legendary Table Mountain, visit wine country and the spectacular coast. Then it's off to the Kapama Game Reserve to see the Big Five in their natural habitat: lion, elephant, Cape buffalo, leopard, and rhino. Finally, a tour of the Cullinan Diamond Mine in Johannesburg to see where the sparkly magic comes from. All told, 11 luxury days on the ground, all inclusive, for just $6,300 a person. This is it, people. The banger safari trip of a lifetime. I've been twice with Ronnie. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee it. Book now. Space is limited, and it's filling up quick. For more information, go to mervisdiamond.com/safari or call travel consultant John Almeida at 888-722-4872 and tell him I sent you. Remember, life is short. Collect memories, not things. We might be in the final quarter of the football season, but that doesn't mean winning season is over. Oh, no. With MyBookie and its cash-out system, you are in control of how you bet and how you win for the rest of the season. Season win totals, parlays, points totals. If you're on the right side, you can get out while the getting is good. Cash out. Use the funds on other bets, or just let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Any way you slice it, you are in control. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now. That's mybookie.ag. Register for an account for free. When you're ready, make your first deposit, and remember to use promo code ZABE. That's Charlie, Zulu, Alpha, Bravo, Echo, and grab a welcome bonus on the house. That's promo code ZABE to claim your deposit bonus. The season is running out, but winning season has just begun. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at mybookie.ag. I want to talk comedians for a second with you. I know you like to go to comedy shows. What did you think of Nikki? What did you think of Nikki Glaser at the Golden Globes?
Well, didn't watch it because the Vikings game was on.
I'm aware.
Did you see
clips?
Have
you read about it?
I've just seen a few clips.
Okay.
I love that she roasted Hollywood because they deserve it. They're so self-important. This is it. The closest we've seen for anybody that's done this is the British guy who
Ricky Gervais.
I
don't think she did, though.
Skewered it.
She held back on quite a bit of stuff because she went on Howard Stern on Monday and said, well, here's the jokes we felt like we couldn't
say.
Yeah. Like there was an Alec Baldwin one saying that rumor was Alec Baldwin was going to be on a sequel to Ghost, but he was too busy actually making ghosts, so he couldn't do it. I don't know how Alec Baldwin sleeps at night. He's so bad. But Nikki Glaser as a comedian, where would you put her?
Okay, I think she is I'll give her an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
And I'm not giving her a 9 or a 10 because I don't know how many things she can do outside of her wheelhouse, but this was a good example of it,
Which
right?
is sex.
She does hour-long sets where the entire thing is sex, right?
Right.
So, the versatility, we don't know about that part yet. But what I can say with, I think, a great deal of certainty is within her strong suit, pervy jokes told by an attractive blonde, she's figured
good.
that out. She's cracked the code on that. It works.
Right.
Yeah.
She's pretty ruthless on that. And she's looking better than ever. Although I noticed she looks like she has some lip filler, some collagen. Probably. And I don't like that. Like, careful, Nikki. You're fine the way you are. Let's not go all Hollywood here. Nate Bargatze, where do you stand on him?
I think he's funny. He's clean. I mean, really, he's almost the opposite, right? And I think his stuff is very good.
Right.
You can tell that he is a sort of a pro's pro.
Yeah.
You can tell these jokes have been told and they've been manicured.
Finally,
perfected.
Yes, exactly. I liken him to a timing and touch passer with his comedy. Everything is perfect timing and touch and inflection because the underlying humor is not that mind-blowing per se.
Right.
It's kind of basic stuff, but the way he delivers it and how he does it is so perfect. So here's what happened at home. I had my youngest daughter, Megan, rattling around the basement, and I was starting to watch the Nate Bargatze special that I found on Netflix or some streaming service, so I put it on, and she kind of wandered in, which I'm like, as a father, you always like it when your daughter wanders in. And I say, you ever seen Nate Bargatze? And she's like, no, I don't know who this guy is. And I go, I think you'd like him. Now, at that point, I'm very invested in my daughter liking this comedian.
Sure.
Have you ever been there whether you want your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever?
Of course.
You're like, please think this guy or gal is
this.
funny, right? Exactly.
Yes, of course, yes.
So I'm just watching it, and I'm really keened into, okay, are these jokes early on hitting? Let's get to the better jokes later. I know there's some better jokes later in the set. Let's go. She sits through the whole thing, and I said afterwards, did you like it? She's like, yeah, I really liked him. He reminded me of this other guy on YouTube. So it was a win.
Right.
A win for me.
I'm going to ask you this. You saw his new special, Nate's new special. Now, it's in an arena. And I watched the special, or I watched parts of the special. I didn't have time for the whole thing. But I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's not great. And I saw on Twitter, somebody suggest it didn't quite hit right because it was in an arena. And that's been bouncing around my head for a while. Like,
I wouldn't be shocked by that.
I don't know why that would be the case, but I feel like that's an accurate statement that comedy, that we're so used to comedy being intimate and the laughter is coming right from somebody who's 10 feet away from the stage. And we're used to it being at biggest in a small theater, but almost never an arena.
Yeah.
And I wonder if somehow, for some reason, it just loses a little something, like a lot of musicians. If I could see a band in a place that's 1,000 versus a place that's 30,000, I'm gonna have a more intimate experience with a band in a small venue. Are comedians subject to that?
I would imagine the answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely. They got to be the same way as musical acts. Some musical acts were built for the arenas and for the stadiums, others not so much. So, interesting.
Agreed. I think there's something to that. And before we go to the next thing.
Yeah.
I just want to briefly tell the story of the time that I most wanted my daughter to have an appreciation for something that was special to me. And it worked.
Okay.
It was in the movie The Prestige. This is the Christopher Nolan movie about two competing magicians in the 1800s.
Oh, wow.
And it is a deep psychological thriller where, the ending comes and your mind melts down. If you're tracking the movie. And we get to the end, and my daughter turns to me and says, "We have to watch it again right now."
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa.
Because she really wanted to reabsorb some of the plot lines.
Yes. When you know the twist and it unlocks the entire movie for you at the end of The Prestige, when you see the big twist and then you go back and you go, oh my God, everything I just saw for 2 hours, it all changes. It's such a good movie. And to have my daughter appreciate that was a great parenting moment.
Yeah. Meanwhile, shit's happening in the culture right now, and it's rather remarkable to see, and it's refreshing for many of us who believe that, if you can't speak your mind and state your opinion on things, then we don't really have a society, much less a democracy. Mark Zuckerberg came out today with a long video, one day after he brought on none other than Dana White to the Meta board of directors and said that they were scrapping their sort of hall monitor phase of disinformation police on Facebook, and we're going to embrace a far more hands-off, balanced, assessment of, okay, short of illegal activity or truly harassing speech or activity online on Facebook, we're going to let people say what they think. And boy, the left is melting down. That potato, Brian Stelter, or whatever his name is, Stelter, on CNN, their media analyst said, it's more lies and disinformation because of this. What a foof this is. But this is all because of Musk and buying Twitter. The community notes feature of Twitter is brilliant. A balanced group of people from both sides of the spectrum that will come in and go, actually, this video is this, or actually, this person said that. Here's some more information. We're not going to delete the post. We're not going to shut down anyone's account, but we're going to say, oh, by the way, did you know this? Remarkable. This is mind-blowing.
Honestly, it is mind-blowing. For anybody who, this shouldn't be a left-right thing. This should be everybody gets to speak their mind. This shouldn't be left-right, but the left has had this stranglehold on quote disinformation for so long that when you just try to put uncensored commentary, it should be right down the middle, but it doesn't feel that way. But it really should be. The fact that he fired the fact checkers. Everybody knew the fact checkers were the exact opposite of that. They were censorship police. Everybody knew it. And by the way, very interesting. The Zuckerberg video, it was stunning to me.
He also basically said in the video, the government made us do this.
Yes,
which
that's right.
should.
And he said the last 4 years.
Yes.
He specifically called out the Biden government.
Right. Because they had the power to cripple him and Meta, if they wanted to. I mean, look at how they're going after Musk. So this is a fight for survival, because now with the new administration change, he realizes he can't lag behind Musk and Twitter in the information wars to come. He can't be on the outside looking in. It won't be good for him or his business. So he's got to play catch up.
Users will leave.
Yes.
Users will leave, and they already have. I mean, this is the first time I left Facebook 10 years ago. First day I've thought about going back was today. And if he actually does implement this, I probably will go back.
Why did you leave Facebook 10 years ago? I'm curious, because I'll tell you why I'm rarely
it was
on it.
Less at the time. It was less that they were censoring views that the government didn't want, and it was more about privacy. And I'm still worried about that on Facebook because they're harvesting all
data
of your personal information to build a biography on you and sell it.
Yes.
So, that part I did not like, and I still don't. You saw that he's moving his content team out of California
to Texas. To fucking Texas.
Now, if he moves it to Austin, that changes things, right?
Right. But if it's Abilene or Nacogdoches, they ain't going to be too happy.
Right. But that is a part of it, right? I mean, it's
like, hey, get to know some other people that don't
think
think like you do, asshole.
Right. Just be surrounded by people who don't. It's not an echo chamber. Yeah. He's trying to get rid of the echo chamber. Now, this is very reminiscent. Was it 4 months ago? Jeff Bezos with the Post right before the election. He's like, we're not
running this stupid op-ed that says Biden's great, Trump sucks, vote for Biden. Like, it doesn't work. A, you don't influence anybody, and B, we got to sit this one out because people have the right to make up their own fucking minds. And the editors went crazy. We've been recommending presidents for years. This is a grand tradition in American politics. Fuck off.
The bigger part of it, I thought, Zabe, from what he said was nobody trusts the legacy media. What difference does it make? We have to rebuild trust, and we have to try to be objective. And, I have no idea if the Washington Post is actually doing any better on that front, but the fact that somebody acknowledged that the Americans do not trust the legacy media, in fact, quite the opposite. It's
going to be a long road back if they ever make it back, and I'm a little bit dubious at this point. I think they've dug their grave. The other big news you sent to me was that McDonald's is ending a number of DEI policies. Not all of them, but a bunch of them. My first reaction was, shit. Who wants to work at McDonald's? Whether you're black, white, or in between.
No, I don't. I disagree.
Okay.
I don't shame anybody for working any job.
Okay.
You're shaming. You're job shaming right now.
I would think though that they would have a hard time hiring anybody to be the fry cook at McDonald's, that you didn't need to be a black guy to get a job there. I can't imagine anyone getting turned down for a job at McDonald's. Maybe in the higher management echelons, it gets hard for us white guys, but I don't know. But you like that. You like seeing this happen.
Well, I just want merit. That's all. I just want people. All I want is merit, right? I just want people to get ahead and get the things that they get because they earned it, not because they were given it. I just want merit to be the deciding factor on most of the success you have in your life. That's all. That's for me. But I think it's very interesting that one guy has now this social media influencer named Robbie Starbuck has now pushed enough companies into changing their DEI policies that the companies have a combined worth of $4 trillion. Companies like Toyota, and we're talking about McDonald's right now, and
he's done it by simply publishing internal documents that lay out their bullshit policies and getting people to wake up and go, this is going on. You might have a son who happens to be white that would like a job at one of these places, and he is going to have no fucking chance the way they've got this set up. You know that, right?
Well, you hit on the big thing. What happens is whistleblowers are contacting this guy with proof that these companies have discriminated against, in what are many cases, men and white men.
And that's money.
And
that's going to cost them money in court.
That's right. Massive PR hits and lawsuits that they can't sustain. So they're undoing many of their DEI policies.
Yeah, it should have never come up in the first place, but at least where the world is healing just a bit. And
I just can't believe one guy is able to do it. That's the amazing thing.
Well, because Musk had bought Twitter, so they would have absolutely nuked Robbie Starbuck's account, right?
Oh, for sure.
So he had the platform then on Twitter, and he got this stuff out into the bloodstream, and it really started to build up. Like, I would say in the long run of our lives, Musk buying Twitter, almost on a lark, and overpaying for it and having the libs laugh at him, going, oh, you'll ruin the place. Nobody's going to be left in a year. This place sucks now, and being totally wrong about it. But Musk buying Twitter is one of the most significant historical events in our lives. I'm going to argue that will be in the long lens of things.
I'll argue Elon Musk he's turned into the most notable person in our lifetime.
Most significant.
Significant. Yeah.
No question about it.
Better word for it.
You don't have to like him.
Person in our lifetime.
Yes, you don't have to like him. There's a lot of things about him personality-wise that you may not be a fan of, but I think he's Thomas Edison walking the fucking earth right now. It's goddamn amazing.
Edison did nothing compared to what he's accomplished. It's insane.
Somebody said they believe that basically Musk is a time traveler from another dimension.
No, you and I had this conversation.
Did you say that?
It's a simulation. He's on his 23rd run-through of this simulation that we're living right now.
That's why he knows how to do all this shit?
Perfectly. He knows everything to do. You can't have accomplished what Elon Musk has accomplished, whether you like him or not, in any one run-through. You have to have already known what's going to happen. This has to be run through 23. And he brought online payments in PayPal, right? He made electric cars when we were told our entire lives it was impossible to make electric cars, and potentially change the climate of the planet by doing so. Right? He's boring tunnels under major cities. He's bringing people to Mars. He's the world's top-rated Diablo player at the same time.
We're not on Mars yet, although I like his shirt, Occupy Mars. It's kind of funny.
That's the plan.
Yeah, okay. We'll see about that. And then just on the other end of things, proof that shitty ownership will doom you as an NFL fan. The Titans fired their GM today. That's Rand Carthon. Now, for those of you that don't follow Titans closely, the owner, Amy Adams Strunk, sided with Vrabel, who fired John Robinson in 2022, their GM.
Right.
Then they forced the marriage of Vrabel and Carthon. Vrabel did not like Carthon, so they fired Vrabel. Now, after Carthon picked Callahan, and that didn't work out, they've now fired Carthon, and Callahan is probably going to have a say in the GM.
Unreal, right?
And Vrabel's probably going to kick ass in New England. You have no hope. With bad ownership, you have no hope. And your owner, I've mocked him before, Ziggy Wolf, as the Cuckoo Clock King. Okay, the eccentric guy with the mustache. He spent $2 million on tickets just to try to nudge things in your favor in Detroit last week.
I love it.
Good job by him.
Yep, and then he sold him at face value. He paid $2 million way over on the open market,
right?
And then sold him to his season ticket holders at face value. Extremely cool.
So much that the Lions are like, "What the fuck? Is this legal?" And the NFL's like,
"Right,
yeah." All right, Charch, you're the best, buddy.
We'll
talk to you. Chin up on your goddamn Vikings. They can do this.
Talk to me on Monday night.
All right, we'll see you, buddy.
Okay, everyone, this is me on the drums.
Oh, get out. It is not your life.
They say to fully enjoy life, you should collect experiences, not things. Physical things you buy become outdated. They lose their appeal. But an experience lasts forever and grows over the years. That's why I want you to know about the Mervis Diamonds South Africa Safari coming this March 2025. Enjoy a 5-star luxury adventure with native South African and longtime fixture on the DC diamond scene, Ronnie Mervis himself, leading the group. I've been on the trip twice, and it is spectacular. You'll fly to Cape Town, see the legendary Table Mountain, visit wine country and the spectacular coast. Then it's off to the Kapama Game Reserve to see the Big Five in their natural habitat: lion, elephant, Cape buffalo, leopard, and rhino. Finally, a tour of the Cullinan Diamond Mine in Johannesburg to see where the sparkly magic comes from. All told, 11 luxury days on the ground, all-inclusive, for just $6,300 a person. This is it, people. The banger safari trip of a lifetime. I've been twice with Ronnie. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee it. Book now. Space is limited, and it's filling up quick. For more information, go to mervisdiamond.com/safari or call travel consultant John Almeida at 888-722-4872 and tell him I sent you. Remember, life is short. Collect memories, not things. We might be in the final quarter of the football season, but that doesn't mean winning season is over. Oh, no. With MyBookie and its cash-out system, you are in control of how you bet and how you win for the rest of the season. Season win totals, parlays, points totals. If you're on the right side, you can get out while the getting is good. Cash out. Use the funds on other bets, or just let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Any way you slice it, you are in control. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now. That's mybookie.ag. Register for an account for free. When you're ready, make your first deposit, and remember to use promo code ZABE. That's Charlie, Zulu, Alpha, Bravo, Echo, and grab a welcome bonus on the house. That's promo code ZABE to claim your deposit bonus. The season is running out, but winning season has just begun. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at mybookie.ag.